What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this video with your friends, because what we're about to break down is sending shockwaves through Zimbabwean politics. The name Kuda Tagwirei has once again surfaced in the heart of controversy, and this time, it's not just about fuel cartels or economic influence. It's about raw political power. Tagwirei, the shadowy mogul often dubbed Queen Bee in Zimbabwe's tangled web of state business relations, has just been officially co-opted into the ruling ZANU-PF Central Committee, and that move changes everything. For years, Tagwirei operated from behind the scenes. The man who controls massive energy and mining assets through his Secunda Holdings empire was always a whisper away from power, a close ally of the military elite and an indispensable economic player in Zimbabwe's crumbling financial ecosystem. But now, ZANU-PF is no longer pretending. They've brought him into the inner sanctum. Into the war room. Into the very engine room of party strategy, influence, and succession. This is not just a strategic appointment, it is a loud, unapologetic statement. ZANU-PF has effectively declared that the line between capital and political control no longer exists. It's now one and the same. The businessman who has been accused of benefiting from murky government contracts, monopolizing fuel imports, and influencing monetary policy behind closed doors has now been handed formal political legitimacy. Not just any post, but a seat in the Central Committee, the very body that shapes party direction, elects leadership, and determines the soul of Zimbabwe's ruling elite. What does this mean for Zimbabwe going forward? It means the stakes have just been raised in a very dangerous game. The Central Committee isn't a powerless think tank, it's the nerve center of ZANU-PF's operations, especially as the country creeps towards the 2028 general elections. By pulling Tagwirei into this inner circle, President Emmerson Mnangagwa is making it crystal clear, the future of Zimbabwean politics will be driven by those who control wealth, resources, and patronage, not by ideology or national interest. Let's not pretend this move came from nowhere. Mnangagwa's relationship with Tagwirei has long been an open secret. From the fuel subsidies that bled the treasury dry, to command agriculture programs riddled with corruption allegations, Tagwirei was always there, funding, supporting, benefiting. His influence runs so deep that even international sanctions have barely dented his rise. The U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control slapped sanctions on him in 2020 for corruption and undermining Zimbabwe's democratic processes, but instead of recoiling, ZANU-PF has now embraced him even tighter. This co-option also sends a chilling message to reformers, civil society, and the opposition. If you thought ZANU-PF was trying to clean up its act, forget it. If you believe the talk of re-engagement with the West and a new democratic era, this is your wake-up call. The ruling party has doubled down on cronyism and control. With Tagwirei at the table, the Central Committee now has a direct line to some of the country's most strategic and lucrative sectors: fuel, agriculture, mining, and foreign currency flows. This is political consolidation at its most brazen. And for those within ZANU-PF who may have quietly questioned Mnangagwa's leadership, this move is a masterstroke. By placing Tagwirei within the Central Committee, Mnangagwa ensures that any internal dissent is now counterbalanced by deep-pocketed loyalty. Money talks in ZANU-PF, and Tagwirei's presence will likely drown out the voices of anyone hoping to challenge the current leadership structure. Succession debates? Forget them. Mnangagwa has just locked the vault and thrown away the key, for now. But while Mnangagwa and his allies celebrate, the streets are restless. The average Zimbabwean struggling with hyperinflation, rolling blackouts, and joblessness is watching all this with growing fury. Tagwirei is not seen as a savior by the masses. He is a symbol of the elite, of privilege, of everything that has gone wrong with the Zimbabwean economy. His entry into the Central Committee isn't just controversial, it's inflammatory. There is also the international angle to consider. Zimbabwe has spent the last few years desperately trying to court Western investors, soften sanctions, and present a reformed image to the global stage. This move completely undermines that effort. By promoting a man under US sanctions into its top political organ, ZANU-PF is thumbing its nose at the international community. It's a defiant move, one that could trigger even tighter restrictions, scare off potential investors, and isolate Zimbabwe further from the global financial system. But maybe that's exactly the point. Maybe ZANU-PF has decided that the West isn't coming to the rescue, that IMF loans are a fantasy, and that real power lies in resource nationalism, authoritarian control, and internal economic networks. Tagwirei represents that model. He is the walking embodiment of Zimbabwe's informal state capitalism, where political connections override merit, where cartels thrive, and where the elite grow fat while the nation starves. So where does this leave the opposition? Nelson Chamisa and the CCC now face an even more daunting task. The battle isn't just at the ballot box anymore, it's in boardrooms, banks, and now, even in the Central Committee. Every institution is being weaponized. Every avenue of dissent is being locked down. With Tagwirei now wielding political clout to match his economic might, the road to change just got steeper, darker, and far more dangerous. This is a pivotal moment for Zimbabwe. The co-opting of Kuda Tagwirei into ZANU-PF's Central Committee is not just another backroom deal. It is the official merging of money and politics at the highest level. It confirms that the state is now an appendage of a powerful economic elite. It signals that the next chapter in Zimbabwe's history will be written not with democratic ideals, but with checkbooks and strategic control of resources. We are entering uncharted territory. The question now is not just what Tagwirei will do with his new power, but how the people of Zimbabwe, the international community, and even members within ZANU-PF itself will respond. Will there be pushback? Or is this the dawn of a new political dynasty, where wealth doesn't just influence power, it is power? Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment below, do you think Tagwirei's appointment signals the final death of democracy in Zimbabwe, or is this just politics as usual? Let's talk about it. And as always, subscribe and stay tuned for more updates from the front lines of Southern Africa's political drama.